so glad you could join me today. Today we're gonna do a nice little interesting painting. As you can see on my canvas, I have the two angles, one here, one there, but my other microphone was malfunctioning. So if the audio doesn't seem the best on the other one, I'm sorry, please. I'm working on that. Today we're working with a limited select brush. We have, I'm gonna show it on the other angle. We have a 2-inch brush, a 1-inch, a fan brush, and my small and big palette knife. So these are the things I have. My other brushes are dried up with paint, and I need to restore those. But this is gonna be good. It serves like a challenge. So let me run the colors across the screen that you'll need to paint along with me. While you're doing that, let me tell you what I got done up here. I have a 16 by 20 inch canvas, pre-stretched, double prime, and I added a thin layer of linseed oil, not liquid clear. So used to saying liquid clear. Linseed oil. And on top of the linseed oil, I did a mixture of alizarin crimson and bright red. Did some streaks. And on the rest of the canvas, I did a mixture of phthalo blue. Well, not mixture, it's just phthalo blue. And just like that, it's all ready to go. I thought today we could do a Northern Lights image, somewhere where far away with the Northern Lights, and oh, it's wonderful. Let me just give me a sec. I forgot to grab something real quick, but you'll still be able to hear my audio even from far. Give me 1 second as I grab over here one of my cleaners. I forgot to get one, and you always have to have your cleaner. Okay, grabbed it. Now I'm back on my way to do the painting. Okay, it's just a small little thing. Okay, now let's go ahead and get started with today's painting. So let's start with the fan brush. We're gonna go ahead and load some titanium white onto our fan brush. Just pure titanium white. Let's come up here and just make up a random line. You don't have to do exactly how I do it. I'm just using my imagination and just going with it. Just like so. I think I'm gonna just do 3. Okay. And just as a bonus, I'm just gonna tap on a little bit of upwards. I call it upward pushes because you're pushing your brush upwards. Self explanatory. Okay. With the 1 inch, you could use a 2 inch. I'm just using a 1 inch. Just grab and pull up the paint. Now, seems like I didn't put enough linseed oil. Linseed oil is almost like liquid clear. It's just more higher quality, more artist like, rather than Bob Ross. Bob Ross is liquid clear. There's nothing wrong with it, but after the documentary and everything, I really don't want to support the brand. It's up to you. You could use it if you like. Either way, I'm using these brushes without, like, I need to find another brand of brushes, but I couldn't find one yet. So I hope to find one. If you guys find the brush that you think might work, let me know. I'm looking for new brand brushes, a brand where, because some of the Bob Ross brushes are like really delicate, and I don't like that. I don't like how it's like so delicate. Like you have to take care. Like you can't miss a day or whatever. Okay, I feel like some need more color, so I'm just putting more crimson in there just to sort of spice things up a bit. And I'm barely even putting any, and you could see how it's adding that color. Okay, go back with the fan brush, just in here as well. And same thing, just pull up. I like to do up and down motions. I almost forgot about this spot. Okay, just going up and down. Simple as that. You could change your painting as many times as you feel. Just like that, we have some northern lights. Now you could add more color, you could leave it like that. It's all up to you. Shoot. I think I'm gonna add more color. I think it's a bit too pale. So a little bit of phthalo blue. Just tap on some blue. Just tapping on some blue. All I'm doing. It's blue with a little bit of white, not just pure blue. And this Friday, I'll be doing another live stream. I really enjoyed that live stream. Um, how I was saying, I'm gonna do another live stream. Those live streams. The thing I like about live streams is I could interact with people. If they have a question about something, I they could get that question answered. Whether it's a bit more personal or just about painting, doesn't matter. Unless it's too personal. Then if it's too personal, I'm gonna put my foot there and be like, I can't tell you that. Some things you just can't disclose, like your address or all that type of stuff. I'm not gonna be telling everyone I live in certain spots. Okay, just moving. And you could play with this like very long. Look. Oh, some paint fell. Look at this. How I'm just adding more white to really accentuate that movement. Look at that. Look at that. Alright, I think I'm gonna stop there. If not, I'm gonna keep on going. If anything, I'll come back to it at a later stage. Now, let's get our 2-inch brush, load it with some titanium white paint. I just tap that paint right into there. Let's come up here. Let's just choose where a cloud lives. Okay, and let me just do the other side, and I'll come back with that blending power, blending ability. Okay, I think there's one more cloud that just lives right somewhere just there. Okay, let me grab. Uh, I have blue shop towels. I use these to like dry clean my brush, so I'll have my brush and just wipe it away, that excess paint. But you could also beat it. But either way works good. I just chose to do that way. I don't think I've shown that before. So I thought today would be a good day to show it. So I'm just doing circular motions and just putting in quite the pressure just to sort of blend the base, lift upwards, go across. Now, if it gets too light on you with the shop towel, you can actually just go and remove some of that um, excess paint. Sort of just brings it back. Okay, now I think this is like there's some green area, so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna load up my 1 inch brush with a little bit of phthalo blue and more crimson. Crimson is to dull the color. Now, I think there's some land living just there. And you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna put blue everywhere. Just scrub it on or do X marks. Doesn't really matter. I hope you guys are having a good day today. No, I was in class today. Funny story. I was in class and I was coming up with this idea, but the teacher was giving some instructions. I'm a good student. Don't take this the wrong way. The teacher was giving instructions, and I was just drawing. I was listening, drawing, not doing both things because I wanted to come up with an idea. It was a similar painting to this. Didn't get it exactly like this. In fact, I don't like to copy off. I'll draw it to give me an idea, but I won't copy. So let me just tap my 2 inch brush. A little bit of blue if you want. So I was drawing and she called me out in class. She goes, "What are you doing?" And I go, "Oh, I'm just writing down notes and everything." And later on, she comes near my desk, and she she could see the drawing since I had the drawing like right in the front of the table. She sees the drawing and she goes, "So that's what you've been working on." And she kind of laughed at it, not at the drawing. She laughed at what had happened and just continued walking. And I thought that was pretty funny. Not hilarious, but it was pretty funny. Okay, let's go ahead. I think right here it comes. I'm just doing like the basic outline for some grass. And that dark will help you make that grass pop out a bit more. And if your brush is like, I got this vintage brush, so it's new, but it's old. It has like a spring to it. And it works miracles. So I think I'm gonna do some sort of reflections, something like so. I'm gonna take a little bit of crimson with the palette knife, doesn't matter. I'm just applying paint, so when I go to do reflections, that color will be there. Doesn't matter what form or how you put it. Okay, let's continue with our grass. Boom. Just tapping. It's just a slight tap. And sometimes it helps to get close up to your painting and look at it. And sometimes it's good to look at it from afar and just have loose strokes. Okay, I'm gonna go in some cadmium yellow to make extra highlights, I call them, just to pick out a couple parts, make some parts stand out. You see, just like so, there's layers to it, and since from here it's light and it works its way to dark, it looks like few little layers. Okay, maybe over here, just at the top because of the lights. I think the northern lights hits it and makes it sparkle a bit. Okay, and you do paintings how you imagine them. How you imagine, that's the right way to do a painting. Okay, let's go back to the water part. Let's tap in a little bit of white into a 2-inch brush. Just a little bit. Don't need much. And it has like a purple hue. My color was polluted, which is fine. I don't mind. And look at that. Okay, let me just beat the axis off and reload. That's a step that will help you not pollute the color on the canvas. It doesn't matter if you pollute your color on your palette. What matters is what ends up on your canvas. That's what matters. Hold on. I had to sneeze. Sorry about that. Um, so we have that. Let me just put some reflections here. Okay, now let me add some dirt. For that, I'll go into a little bit of crimson. And before I mix up a color, I mix up a green color with some yellow and blue. And I'll mix it with the red. And I usually like my brown to the reddish side compared to um, compared to the greenish side. But it's all preference. Anyone could paint it to whatever color degree you want it to be. If you want it more to the greenish, go for it. It's your painting. Just me personally, I prefer it more to the red. I used to like it more to the green, and I saw my paintings and I was like, I think it should be more to the red. So just mixing up this paint. Ooh, that's a nice brown color. Cut a roll. It should look something like this. Move it around a bit. Let's come up here. You know what? Before I do that, I'm gonna beat the 2-inch brush just lightly and just pull on my reflections a bit more and go across. I'm gonna finalize my reflections. I was gonna do it afterwards, but I think it'll be easier if I do it now. Okay? Just lightly pull, just lightly, and then 3 hairs in some air. You can go back and forth, and I'll just missed it. Now, let's go ahead, let's put our dirt. Okay? Oops, I did a little mistake. Let me see here. You could probably see it since most of the time I'll zoom in, but we'll come back and fix it. I still have that brush dirty, so there's no problem. We don't make mistakes. Everything that happens, we can work with. People think little thing that went wrong ruins the painting. You just have to work with it, find a way to make it look like it was never there or it was done on purpose. Some white, just some white. You see, my tones were perfect. I got a perfect brown. Or at least I'm saying I did. I think it needs a bit more white. I like it marbled. Let me get a marbled color. Dark light. Just like so. Just touch, slide. You choose where each little reflection lives. Okay, now I'm gonna load up my 2-inch, 2-inch, my 1-inch, and just break that barrier. Over here, it was part of the illusion. Maybe here, just a little. And I think right here, maybe a little. You could always change it. Look at that. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Now, I actually found the flat brush, so that could help me. It's my little cheap brush. With some brown, I am going to make seems to be a little rock. Okay, some highlight color, which is just brown and white. Needs more white. Okay, wipe my palette knife off with that blue shop towel I was showing you guys earlier. Let me pick up some white. And look how easy it is to do some water lines. You just tap, kind of slide it. Super, super easy. I think this painting needs some water lines, even though the reflections are beautiful. Okay, just like so. There's more, I'd say, cartoonist. Well, not really, because of the light, the northern lights, but it's not something you would see usually. That's why I say it's more cartoonish. Some brown, red, and blue. Mixing it up on my fan brush. I think there lives an evergreen right here. Okay? I don't think you can really see it, but with that somewhat of a highlight, you'll see it better. Evergreens aren't supposed to be completely dark, so I just leave it somewhat dark. And that's a distant tree, I believe. The reason I say I believe, because the imagination could go anywhere. So you have to make it up. Okay? Let me pop in one more tree. Load up my fan brush with cadmium yellow. Okay. And I think it's just in the distance, somewhere out there. I'm just trying to enhance that tree trunk. Okay, last minute thing. I'm just holding you guys back for maybe something less than a minute. I'm gonna put a big old rock in here. Something huge. This rock really grew. It almost got to a mountain size. Not really, but we could imagine. Sorry if I'm blocking it. just something delicate. And I think that can conclude today's video. Well, oh, right before we end off this video, let me do a brush cleaning. Let's switch cameras from this camera to the other one. So we're here, brush, dirty brush, rinse it through. And while I'm doing that, I'd like to thank you guys for joining me in today's painting. Today's painting was an interesting one. It sure is a beauty. I hope someone could try this painting out, see how they do. My bad. That was probably like a bad shot. I hope someone tries this out after rinsing. There we go. Look at that brush. I hope someone tries this painting out, shares me it, and I get to see how their painting comes out. Until next time, I'd like to wish each and every one of you the best of luck, and I'll see you in the next painting video. Until then, goodbye.